Sick. Episode 3 of the Adapt Collective. Thank you if you've been listening. Thank you for the support. Hopefully you've been dropping us messages. Episode 3. My name is Jonas.
I am Peter, and we're back.
Yeah,
We're back again.
That's right. Good to be
Let's
here.
do it.
All right. So, nutrition seemed to be the most of the questions. At least I got. I didn't even mention we had a podcast, but I got.
It's always,
Yeah,
yeah.
that seemed to be the overwhelming theme.
So we like to bring the questions to you guys,
Yeah.
or the answers to you guys. And so today we are, based on when this episode's going to be released,
Yep.
how to handle your nutrition around the holidays.
Yeah, specifically, people were asking because they're going away for the holidays, and they weren't asking for recipes. They were asking for just like how to behave and how to kind of offset the amount of food
Yeah.
that they're going to be served on the holidays.
And not gain the weight.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do I?
It all revolved around not gaining weight.
Yes.
Um,
That's the big thing. If I can make it through the holidays, if I can get to January 1st and at least be status quo, right?
yeah, most people the first.
Yeah.
Sometimes they stretch it after Super Bowl.
That's right.
Because
February.
yeah, they pushed it. When Super Bowl was in January, I didn't notice it as much. But now that they've pushed, at least new people, like you know what? I'll start after. It's not. I'll start after New Year's anymore because
Man,
those
it is
people don't stay
a long
with
couple
it.
of months.
Yeah, and it goes beyond. It goes to Super Bowl. That's the last bad meal as
Yeah.
far as when it really
Fair.
will be. Yeah,
So yeah, that's what we're going to be attacking today.
that's right.
Kind of like things to take into consideration. I don't know if this is tips, but this is just like,
Well, it is going to be tips as far as I feel where maybe some lifestyle habits have worked or seem to make more of a game out of the keeping your nutrition rather than being so strict to a regimen.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to be. It shouldn't be so drastic. You counting or making sure you're staying on the path of your goals during the holidays. It tends to be not necessarily. I don't think people are definitely eating different, higher, more sweet foods, but I think it's more of like the social setting that people tend to eat more.
yeah,
I don't think people know what good nutritional choices are. I don't think that's the issue. I think of when they're hit with this social environment of holidays that they don't expect how their body's going to react when food is kind of so
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, you don't want to go into a party being a Grinch, a nutritional Grinch, so to
Right.
speak, right?
Yeah, because what kind of
Yeah,
life
I'm
is
not going
that?
to invite you for a next party.
Yeah, right. You're going to have people making their famous dishes, their famous desserts, and I don't think going into the holidays with an elimination approach is the sustainable
Yeah.
thing. So that's kind of where we're going to revolve and talk about.
Yeah.
Nutrition, and then I'm sure we'll get into how it affects the performance in the gym. But right now, heading into the areas we're heading in, hopefully everybody
Hopefully
was.
this helps. Yes.
Yeah, hopefully everybody was keeping their nutrition on point for the majority of the year, and this hopefully will be the
Yeah. We
what
don't
you need.
derail it
exactly
too much.
exactly. So we were talking about, okay, well, what are legitimately some things that you or I do when we are going to our family's house for the holidays? I know before I go, I don't think to myself, all right, I have a big meal coming up, so I'm not going to eat, and I'm going to save room for
The feast.
that's the kiss of death. When you say I have to save room, that is
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a second, but
That's an all or nothing approach.
Yeah.
That is not very.
you will
It's
actually
not very good.
you'll actually eat more if you have a small meal in you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that not only that, it gets away from you being able to savor the meal, being able to focus on what you're doing, that you're not just talking through your bites, that you're prioritizing that first stage of digestion, enjoying your food.
Yeah. Being
Right?
mindful with the food that you're about to partake in. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound silly and trivial when we're talking about it, but when you add, you'll have somebody in front of you who's eating, and you're going to be mirroring them, and then you're going to be talking to this person and that person, and Your emotions are going to be going up and down. You're going to be super happy. You're going to hear all this great news, and you're going to be eating, and you don't really realize that you could possibly be mirroring the person across from you. And when he stops, you stop. The dinner is definitely taking longer.
Yeah.
Right. Usually, I mean, I don't sit down for an hour and a half dinners all the time. So of course you're going to eat more.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like you said, getting away from that all or nothing approach, and really, hey, just because you have this feast kind of coming, it should not, or these holidays coming at you, it should not take you out of your normal routine, right? I mean, as
Right.
long as you, yes, by all means, treat it like the holiday it is, but trying to keep that normal routine, right? Making sure, oh, hey, don't skip that meal. Like, still, hey, have a, still have lunch, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about Thanksgiving, right? Most people sometimes have dinner, right? Some people usually do like a Thanksgiving luncheon.
What
but
about helping out? What about helping out all day around the kitchen? Like some people are actually going to be 4 or 5 people
That's
deep.
a hard one because you end up kind of like
Yeah.
tasting, so to speak, and
Yeah.
then you're just the usual complaint is you're so tired you don't even want to eat anymore. But it's
Yeah.
because you're out of your rhythm, right? You probably
Yep.
never cook all day, and now here you are cooking all day.
Questionable. Yeah, right. Exactly.
So that's one of these things of like, all right, maybe having to prep some stuff ahead of time, right? Or
We have this conversation on the daily with some of the chefs that come into our gym. We have a lot of head chefs on major restaurants that put out a lot of food.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing with them. I don't have time to eat. I have to taste I have to make sure all the stuff, and they're prepping the food all day, then they're cooking it, and it's it's
I
the
think
same.
that's a little bit different because they're dealing with food day in and day out that they're just like, meh.
Right, but I'm saying how to have, like, where they're like, well, where do I eat and what do I eat? Because by the time I'm ready to eat, it's like, well, you've been eating all day, kind of. So I don't know how to. It's kind of the same approach on a micro scale for people that are going to be in the kitchen all day on Thanksgiving or Christmas or what have you.
Yeah, and listen, when you're working with somebody, the go-tos are, hey, nice lean protein, high fiber carbs, and
Yep.
some healthy fats, right? As long as you kind of, and then yes, by all means, you're gonna have some dessert. You're gonna have maybe your wine. And
I'm gonna
so
have
on.
my apricot pie, my
It's
cherry pie. I'm
okay
gonna
to
eat that.
have. It's okay to have these favorite foods, but just maybe the other kind of thing that we wrote here is one plate, right?
Oh yeah.
The one plate rule, so to speak.
Yep.
And we can talk about, all right, what does that proportion look like? The other thing that I wrote here was, okay, fill it with half in like colorful items, right? Like, the veggies and the, really more veggies, right? You can't go wrong with the veggies. But
Yeah.
half of your plate should look in the greenery column.
Yeah, it should have a good visual scan. There's going to be the sweet potatoes or the yams, and like you'll see the green from whatever it is the person made. I mean, traditionally, I think it's like green bean casserole type stuff, and
Yeah.
they might be
A sweet potato.
like a lettuce wedge salad, stuff like that. But I mean, even though those aren't going to be my go-to, okay, if you're going to eat a salad, what's it going to be? I'm going by color because I don't have control over what's being served there.
what's
So I'm
being
gonna,
served.
yeah. I'm more of a dark meat kind of person, so,
fair.
but the portions are usually like I definitely am gonna see the plate on there, and I'm a pretty big eater when it comes to going out for the holidays, but I still won't. I mean, you can't not see plate. You can't, right? And you can't go all the way out to the border.
Yeah.
Borders-
Just place the plate right in front of you.
Yeah.
For those of you that are
it's
seeing us on the stream,
yeah.
it's like, all right, if you go bigger than that,
No, man, you
not gonna
can't.
fit in.
It can't.
Of course, you're gonna feel gluttonous.
So if you want the lean proteins, the side dishes, look at the side dishes and just don't overload on the potatoes and rice, like the higher density carbs. Like don't load up don't double up on that, not understanding that, okay, those two are exactly the same. Like I would not. What would there be? Potatoes, and like I wouldn't have
sweet potato, all the yams.
Yeah, and bread. Yeah, and then cornbread. And so I'm either gonna do the sweet potato option or the vegetable and cornbread option.
Well, and it's like like the big spoon. It's like I'm gonna put
Oh
big
my-
spoon of that and
yeah.
a big spoon of that. I was like, maybe you should grab a teaspoon. Maybe.
I think that, and this is where kind of being in a social setting, I think kind of affects people, is that you think the food's going to run out. So you're taking more than you think you might need because you're in like, man, there's so many people here. I don't want to lose this.
Yeah.
And now you have that spike in your,
When it just goes back to the, hey, just slow it down.
yeah.
Be mindful. It's okay. Like, it's okay that you're.
Take a small spoonful, and then after, turn around, and if it's still there, you can go back and get it.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Exactly.
Because if it's loaded on your plate, you're gonna eat it, and because you feel that you're gonna be mirroring the fucking guy. The guy across from you. You're
It's
gonna
all
be.
right. It's all right.
Yeah, I don't think
We're
we'll
passionate here. Yeah, don't worry.
If I'm sitting in front of a guy who's obviously not, I don't sit in front of many personal trainers, when I go to my family's house, I usually, and I don't want
Probably the
to.
soul one.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but your mirror, it's unavoidable that you're in a social setting,
And you're gonna mimic somebody.
yeah, people next to you. You're just eating is kind of not what it is when you're just when you're looking for sustenance. It's in a social setting, so you got to handle it a little different.
Definitely. The other thing I have here is staying hydrated and just staying moving.
Yeah, I think people get cliched with the stay hydrated. So we should go into kind of like where we're talking about, because some people put a unit size kind of priority on it, like, oh, it has to be a certain number of milliliters. When we say stay hydrated,
Right.
yeah, I think how it
I
relates.
must drink all that.
Yeah, no, you just I feel just to keep healthy appetite rhythms, it's important not to let the walls of your stomach stretch or get too small. So with the water, it's good to keep the stomach volumized a little bit during the day so you are ready to take in food when you know your timing says take in food. Right? So when I say to someone, hey, drink water, it's not from yes, we sweat, obviously.
Yeah,
that's a
it's
whole
humid
separate
here in
thing.
Miami, yes.
But on the priority list of why I'm telling the person to drink water is for the volumization of the stomach. And I've been sticking to this. If there's anyone that has any information or counterpoints to that, please DM it. But that's why. Then we get into, okay, we live in a humid climate, and it's important for you to stay hydrated. Hand cramps, toe cramps, cramps in the front of the shin, along the tibia. These are where we start to get right. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I get a cramp, usually if I'm dehydrated, it's going to be usually if I've had too much coffee. Sometimes my hands or my toes will cramp. And go ahead.
Well, and typically we're talking, once again, we're talking about holidays, and we're talking about potentially going to elsewhere where you don't know how the food was prepped. You don't know the amount of condiments that were used, right? Some people, have a heavy hand with the salts and the other, spices. Right?
Pinch or punch of salt. Pinch or punch.
It's like, go eat some Asian food, right? What happens to you?
Oh my God.
You're like,
yeah.
like you said, you're like,
Oh yeah.
my
Sodium.
God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like, that's just going to help you that following day, right? Not be as sluggish, potentially. Right?
And then
without getting super sciencey and nerdy.
And could we touch on water retention a little bit? When people when they're bloated, they're like, well, I don't understand. If I ate all this sodium, right, and I'm bloated the next day, why do I need more water? So
because that salt continues to ask you for water.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Just because you're storing that water and there's too much sodium. That's really the issue. Like, and you ate carbohydrates, so you're already taking in the water.
Yep.
Right. And now you ate too much, and that's why you drank too much water.
That's why you feel gluttonous.
And that's why you're bloated. Right.
Yep.
But drinking the water after that, yeah, exactly.
It's gonna help flush.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see what other ones. Let's talk about alcohol and sweets a little bit.
Oof. All right.
Because it's like it's unavoidable. All right,
Man,
you finish the main course, right?
Yep.
I mean, listen, you probably have the chips and the orders and the
there's usually like the bar nibbles food,
Yes.
and while Aunt Pauline's getting the table ready. There's usually, I have, martinis. I don't drink, but I don't drink the martinis and the alcohol. But
it's a special occasion. We're talking about the holidays.
Yeah,
here.
the adults are there. The adults are there, and they don't have beer. So I'm not. They're just like, okay, well, I guess it's not because Anyway, there's those meals. So that's where like the chips will be and the nuts and like all the any kind of sliders or so. I usually make a choice. Am I gonna go the drink, the social drinking in the beginning, or the mass dessert in the end? And I got to tell you, I usually pick. I'm gonna have dessert. You can't have both.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, I'm either gonna have
And listen,
alcohol.
it's not poison, but it's it's
Correct.
like, hey, at that point,
It's either going to be the alcohol or the sweets. It cannot be both. Now, it's if of all things are great, you're going there and if you don't, the social drinking doesn't happen, and that's good too, and the dessert doesn't happen, and now that's horrible. But
you probably missed out.
yeah, you're going to do one or the other or
Yeah.
both. If you're a person who drinks and has desserts, okay, we're telling you to pick one. If you don't drink, fantastic, you have your desserts. Don't eat too much.
A spoon.
Right.
And like a table-sized spoon.
No, have a delicate looking dessert. Don't put a heaping apple pie slice
Like
on your,
a whole quarter of the pie on
yeah,
your plate.
yeah. And
Yeah.
we're not doing a la mode anymore. We're not going to do that. Just you could have the pie, or the ice cream, and it's got to look delicate. And it shouldn't be from a box. It should only be from if somebody made it. So at least if there's
Yeah.
you could give them a critique.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're
No
if,
carbo. No.
I'm a
no
realist. I understand people eat Publix cake, right?
Yeah.
and it is delicious.
we're not judging.
Correct.
But it's like if you're gonna intake some calories, you want the stuff that was made with love.
Yeah, and I don't come home to suddenly have a surprise Publix cake there and like turkey and everything. Like this is when I go to the party or the holiday thing, it's there, and it's like sometimes, sometimes you gotta have it. But either way, it should look delicate on the plate. Portion size is gonna be the main thing.
Yeah, and honestly, by that point,
Visually,
by that point, like you said, there's been drinks probably. There's been the appetizers, the finger food. You've gotten through the full meal, right? If you just then grab a regular plate and slap like a quarter of pie on there, the ice cream scoops, what else?
I feel I feel
what are typical
the
desserts?
cookies, the
What-
chocolate
yeah.
nibbles.
Next thing you know, you have a second plate of what could be a main dessert.
train wreck.
Yes.
Train wreck. It does not matter what you ate for dinner at this point. It doesn't. I say it would matter less if you went
you're over 3,000 calories.
yeah, if you went free for all on the mains and skipped dessert completely, that would be more inconsequential rather than going into dessert and just messing it all up.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
dessert is where it
Yeah.
makes or breaks your holiday decision.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes I even talk to people and I'm like, how many calories do you think you ate more than you usually ate in a day, or you just think that because you were like eating standing up that you ate more?
What's the answer?
Holidays are tough. That's the answer, and it just takes a little bit of navigating, and hopefully, it takes managing the lifestyle during the majority of the year to think that you're going to go into the holidays with any kind of question into what should happen.
And we'll bring it back on that, where if you've been consciously eating throughout the year, by the time you get to the holidays, you're usually in a place where you feel good, that anytime even before that, right? Let's say you went to a nice evening outing with your spouse, your friends, right? You're like, that really, I overdid it with that one drink, or I overdid it with a little bit too much of that dessert, and you're like, oh, that was so not worth it. And so if you've been consciously like tracking your nutrition, however you decide to track, by that point, you're more than likely going to make better decisions into the holiday, right? You can't just all of a sudden get into the holidays and say, oh, this is going to be cake. I'm not going to overdo it.
Right. Yeah. So consistency. People just need to understand. Yep.
And then.
But we want you to enjoy your holidays.
Exactly. So enjoy treats without guilt, right?
That's
because
that's great. I'm glad you wrote that in there. Because,
they come by quick, and next thing you know, they've gone through. We're into the new year, and all right.
Yeah, enjoy yourself a little bit. That's why you work hard in the gym the majority of the year, just for a little taste,
And so our last point is, knowing that you're going into the holidays, potentially it might behoove you to have already an outlook as to what routine you're going to try to get back to or transition into going after the holidays. You think that,
You mean like days? Like what days you're gonna get back? Get your
yeah, like
hours
already
back?
have an action plan? I was like, okay, listen, we are going into Thanksgiving. We're going into all the December holidays, right? It's gonna be a lot of parties. It's gonna be a lot of like events, right? You got Art Basel. You
Yep.
have Winter Music Conference, whatever it is. But there's a lot of things that happen, at least locally, right? Where it's like you're put in these social settings where you might be overdoing it nutritionally,
Yep.
right? So, okay, where's kind of like the end in sight, so to speak, of when, hey, I'm gonna start weaving back or cutting back or kind of transitioning to getting
Yeah.
back into some type of normal routine of prior to the holidays.
I think
And if you have that, you have kind of like, okay,
a good map of where.
yes, you have a
Yeah.
transition of where you're trying to get to.
Yeah. I think that if you have it written out somewhere, or if you have some sort of a calendar, or like you could see somewhere on either a table or your phone, if you just kind
A
of glance,
reminder, yeah.
yeah, I glance at a chart that just shows you like 2 weeks out, and just like you approach the holidays with like, okay, it doesn't surprise you when Thanksgiving comes up. It shouldn't surprise you that Art Basel is the same day all the time and you're going to go to those 3 different shows. You should be happy you're going to the shows. Like, okay, I know it comes around every time. Like, I'm happy I'm going to
Yeah.
my aunt's house for the holidays. I know it comes around, so it doesn't just pop up on me. And if you block it out like that, especially because we live in a seasonal town, like it gets a lot of action around the same. There's these big events that come down here now, and they've been coming down here for years. They're not going to stop,
Yeah.
and you should enjoy them, but map it out so there's a little bit more congruency in your expectations of what that night is going to have, like as far as what you're going to be able to eat. And am I going to be walking around looking at art? Let me just make dinner a little bit bigger. You know what? I'm probably going to be eating some sort of maybe a soup, because I'll be eating at 11 p.m. going to Art Basel. So just having some. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, don't go all or nothing on it, right?
Yeah. Like you go in prepared for it, and then it's just. I just think that relieves so much.
Of the stress.
Anxiety. Yeah,
stress,
exactly. And I'm taking for granted sometimes that, and you have personal clients too, that they know they're coming back at the time that they're coming back because of the accountability. But 90% of gym goers that have no one but maybe a workout buddy or that class they're coming back to, or maybe they come on. I know a lot of people don't come on the same time for years on end outside of maybe my personal training clients. There are a few that come at the same time no matter what, but the class goers are like, you know what, my job's flip-flopping. I'm going to be doing Tuesdays instead of Mondays, and now I got to come to the evening classes, but I can only come twice a week. It shuffles around because different kinds of the year. So having a map, getting back on point, having a map of that in your mind loosely on a calendar, I think can get you start out and you go big. Okay, now and you go small. Okay, how am I going to eat during the week? How am I going to eat for this month? Where are kind of my bullet point, my goals in the gym? And I think just approaching it like that might help the holiday hill climb kind of thing. It won't seem like such a, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I do this all year, so this is just another day in the office.
Because like you said, if you're not working with somebody one-on-one, right, more than likely as soon as the holidays start, naturally the fitness aspect, the training aspect starts kind of dwindling because you're so busy, because you have all these social events that you're engaged with, right? And naturally, because you're in these events, right, there's some type of nutritional kind of consequence.
Football starts again. Like it's not just the holidays. Like you have a lot going on. And when you live I feel that being in Miami is special to that, especially these days, because people are surprised.
And so just, like you said, just having something of like, hey, this is when I'm going to get back to working out. Because typically you start working out, you start working back on your nutrition.
Yep.
Right? It just kind of goes hand in hand, so to speak. Right?
That's right.
You start feeling better. You start kind of being more conscious.
Embrace it. Don't be, here we go again. Don't have that. It's very important that you don't hear yourself say stuff like that.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, just being content with the natural ebbs and flows of
Absolutely
of the season. So yeah, I think let's recap it, right? Definitely not having that all or nothing mindset,
Yeah.
right? Don't skip meals,
No.
right?
Yep.
Try to keep it as normal as possible. We have
Be aware of social cues. Just be in the moment. Allow yourself to chew your food.
that mindfulness,
Right.
correct?
That'll prevent you from possibly overeating or even undereating, depending on what the person across from you is doing. How you feel socially. Do you like where you're sitting? You know,
Correct.
You eating properly is the priority.
Yes.
All right.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about anybody
Yeah.
else.
Everyone else there loves you. Just go find a spot where you feel comfortable because that's where you're gonna provide yourself the best version of you.
And I'll tangent into the next one, which is the portion, the plates, right? At one plate, right? Obviously lean proteins. Stay more towards the
Common visual cues. So we'll use common sense as far as the visual. We don't have to we don't need palm size anything, but we're just going for you should still see plate, have colorful
as
proportions
much color as you can.
and delicate desserts.
Delicate desserts, and an occasional spritz.
Yeah.
Ideally, not both of them,
Correct.
right? In a
Correct.
perfect world. But if you have to, like I said,
Do the toast, but just maybe,
ching ching. That's it.
yeah, put it in the house plant.
Yep. Let's see. You said slow down, right? That mindfulness,
Yep.
the hydration, right? And continue. Once again, this goes back to that trying to keep a normal routine of trying to keep some type of training routine,
Yeah.
right?
You know-
as best as you can, right? Like you said, I think you best said it. Like you might have to adjust your training days.
Yep.
That's okay,
Yep.
right? That's part of adapting and evolving and so on, so on.
That's right.
And then we have here get back into routine kind of planned out. When's that date?
Start, or this is going to be the beginning of the new year. You should start having some sort of a baseline calendar and just look at your year in a more macro approach, so you could work out the nuances of how your
and that's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay that, hey, I'm getting back into the swing of it in the new year.
yeah.
Sometimes we laugh because it's like, hey, here comes the heap of people trying to get back into it, but that is okay because we also understand, like even us as trainers, like we have our ebbs and flows in terms of how we go about training, how we go about our nutrition. So it's just for the general population, hey, January is the tendency to, or the month to have the tendency to get back into the swing of things.
That's right.
If not February after the Super Bowl.
Oh,
like you
yeah.
said. Shall we kind of provide our hot tips?
Yeah.
I don't have anything, believe it or not.
You don't
But I'm we're gonna swing it. Do you have a hot tip?
Or
Something that you wanna.
something that I would say.
We don't have a lot of time, so we gotta.
Yeah, no, I could. A hot tip, man. A hot tip, nutrition to stay on point there, or a hot tip, exercise. I would say We said a lot on nutrition. The hot tip for exercise is, I think that I'm gonna be biased here because I'm just going what challenged me the most as far as the week, because I do get, I do get that. And having people, when I'm doing lower rep ranges, right? The winter's come around the corner, or at least what we have is winter in Miami. Maybe sweatpants weather. I usually go for a little bit more strength during the winter months. I go for the reps go much lower, the sets get much lower. I'm looking for a little bit different struggle.
Okay.
And the tip would be, don't just focus on, okay, I'm going to be dumbbell pressing 55 or 70. How you get it in and out of the rack, I think, is going to number one, when you get to the heavier dumbbells. Like I saw this one guy pull the dumbbells out of the rack, and he was throwing them all over the place. It was not good.
The weight was dominating him.
Yeah, taking it out. There's a certain nuance of taking dumbbells out of a rack. So I guess that would kind of be like a little bit of a pet peeve. But the thing is, the hot tip is this: embrace the rest a little bit more between heavy sets, instead of thinking that you have to
Continuous work.
Yeah, continuous work and keep the heart rate up, because I'm looking for, we don't get a stalling point or a fail point, I kind of didn't complete my task that I was looking for. I'm looking for the weight somewhere in the lift to actually just kind of come to a screeching halt through exertion, and obviously safely and within
Yeah.
the proper mechanics and technique. But that's where I'm telling people, hey, slow down. We got to go heavier. Yes, we're doing it. You take more rest, and that you'll be able to do that. Right? Take more. No, that's too heavy. All right, take a little bit more rest, and then finally, they do it. I want it to be
People get anxious in the rest.
correct. At least if it's below a certain rep range, like if it's not a lot of reps, just understand that to embrace a little bit longer of a rest, so you could actually see what your potential is going to be without the fatigue. And then once you have that number in your head, you could be like, wow, it's 15% better than what I was lifting before, because it has to be harder.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to do that by getting progressing is by resting a little bit more, getting back to almost full recovery, and then hitting a heavier weight, and then the sets kind of start. Right. So we're not going to count all those warm-up sets.
Yeah. Once you see that, that was a good effort. Okay.
Right.
That's
now we start. So that would be the hot tip of the week.
I'm gonna go I guess the opposite side of the spectrum from you then.
Right.
Because, once again, into the holidays, into our quote unquote winter, the weather does start getting nicer.
That's right.
So for me,
I say winter, but it's really, we're coming out of a hot summer here.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Summer. So you're the
it's
opposite.
Like 85, 87 degrees at night. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yes, the opposite. And what I mean by that is I'm going to start spending some more time outside and doing some more recreational activities outside and enjoying that weather, because that's what Miami's all about in our winter.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And just taking it when you can, right? So, hey, all you have is 20, 30 minutes to smash a cardio workout, or, even if it is, hey, we did a 3K bike erg for this past month's challenge.
Yep, we
and
did.
It just took us 5 minutes.
You crushed it.
The team crushed it. But,
yes,
but
the whole team crushed it. But
the point is, we could have probably just done that. And that would have been A-okay.
100%. That's what
A-okay. Right?
Exactly.
So
100%.
You could, right?
We did a lot before. We did a lot before.
Yeah, we did a lot before. But what I'm saying is, you don't need a lot of time to smash 400, 500 calories.
8 minutes or less. You can do it.
At a high intensity.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, okay, if you're going to stay at lower intensity, right, and we're talking about something more metabolically demanding, what he's talking about, what Jonas is talking about, is strength training. Correct. I'm talking about something of more of a HIIT workout, right?
I like where you're juxtaposing it, because it sounds like the heart rate is going to get up. However, it's still going to hit you in the same way weights would hit you. You're not
if you have a good effort.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct.
Yes.
It's got to be more anaerobic driven.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and that's why you need the rest.
100%.
Correct.
100%. But it's one long interval, and that's where people. That's what that's tricky. That's the
There's a little level of uncomfort, right? And that's okay, right? It's okay to just feel that a little bit, right?
Well, you get outside and do the bike. The biking must be beautiful.
That's why it's okay, maybe take that outside, right? Maybe a couple sprints, right, at your level, right, at whatever baseline you have.
Find a running group. Find some people to go to the track with you.
And that's what it's about. Right. I guess that would be our tips there. Right. It's been a great episode.
Yeah. Man.
Some things are happening around the gym, right?
Yeah. Let's get some announcements going. We're fresh out of the gym. We are, again, if you don't know, we are coming to you from the gym.
That's right.
And did you have a client before this that you just walked in here?
No, a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I had someone a couple hours ago too. But fresh off the presses, man.
Yeah, I was in the back in what we call the abyss. The abyss of the building.
Yeah.
And just getting that ready for our Halloween party and haunted house.
That's going to be fun.
That's definitely going to be fun. Yes. The week leading up to that, we have Spirit Week. We have Monday, Jersey Day. I'll be rocking a football jersey, right? Tuesday, Talent Tuesday, right? Dress whatever talent you wanted to be. Wednesday, adapt gear, and we have plenty of adapt gear. That's why I wore the hat.
That's
really,
right.
I'm not usually a hat guy, but I was like, all right, I'll rock it.
Yeah, I like it.
Um,
Where do people find that? On the up front, or they
Up
can
front.
buy that on the app? No.
No, up front. Up
Nice.
front at the go to front desk and show me the adapt swag.
Yeah, we have. You
Um,
could see this one. We have this one with more
It's like your dad hat, right? Like
well, no, it's
do you call
the it's what is that called? The way that the font
it's
is up there,
like a bold,
like a yacht
blocky-
hat. I'm forgetting
Yes.
I'm forgetting the.
I don't really know.
But we have the snapbacks too. We have this style hat that you see here, and then we have the trucker.
And
snapbacks.
we're always rotating different apparel and trying different things, seeing what works. But definitely get your adapt gear for that Wednesday, right?
Right.
Throwback Thursday, right? Choose any decade you wanna kind of dress up in, and then Friday is Halloween costume, and that runs the week of October 24th, with October 24th being the party and haunted house. That's right. Party starts at 6. Haunted house opens at 8. That's October 24th. And then the 25th, we're just doing the haunted house once again, and that's 8 to 10. So be on the lookout for that. Outside of that, really, we have obviously the Community Saturday. Hope you guys
Yep.
partake.
Bring friends.
Yep. This past month we did a cafecito and run. So we had we drank some coffee. We went off for a run. We got back, some refreshments, and then the rest of the day it's like different events. Our
Casual run, right?
casual, yeah, social,
Conversation. You could
super
talk
fun.
while you're
Any levels of runners were welcomed. We had our fitness class. We have our yoga. Different vendors. Definitely a good time. Open to the community.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we have coming up. Next, do you want to kind of teaser next episode? We're definitely gonna have a guest.
Yeah. We are going to have, and those of you that work out here, you know him. He one of the co-creators of Adapt, George Sanchez, otherwise known as Scooby, aka Scooby.
George Sanchez, that's right, the man.
An outstanding human being, and he's going to be on the show. And he's been training for he's one of the OGs in the Miami fitness scene,
Yeah.
and
It's kind of like, what hasn't he done?
yeah, and he's been a colleague of ours for a while, and I think he was the middle ground between me, the introduction of you and I, right? Like
Yeah.
when I started
Definitely.
going over to Adapt. But yeah, he's going to be on the show. We're going to be talking nutrition. I guess where he's.
I mean,
we're
who
gonna-
knows what we'll talk about
Yeah.
with him? It's gonna get interesting.
Workout methodology, where he thinks the fitness world is going, what's he been doing in his
Yeah.
training. It's all it's
Yeah, he's definitely a person that likes experimenting, right?
it's not going to be a dull moment.
Nutritionally, right? From a training standpoint,
Yeah.
it's
It's going to be a lot of history. We're going to bring it. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to
Yeah.
be exciting.
so be on the lookout for that. And then just make sure you follow us, give us a review, give us
Yep.
a like,
Check us out.
share,
Yep.
all things.
Check Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Yep.
You'll see
And
links on our Instagram.
YouTube.
Yep. On
You
YouTube.
can see us. You can see us, right? Check us out. We're still working on our studio.
Yes. The visual is you could go on YouTube and just play the clip as audio. It'll sound the same, but you'll have little visuals of
Yep.
Pete and I are demoing or what we're wearing or what we're doing when we're talking to you.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll get the studio working a little bit.
That's right.
I'm thinking maybe like a backdrop or something here, like a nature scene, but we'll figure it out.
As always, thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
See you later, guys. Talk to
Bye.
you then.